Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
All
for
right.
sure.
Yep. Good
Okay, I'm
evening.
getting ready to go live. Bear with me one moment, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. How was everybody's weekend thus far?
Perfect.
Of course.
Good, good, good. Mine was good.
Uneventful.
You said uneventful?
Yeah, just took it easy. Lay down and rested.
Well, rest is a beautiful thing. Rest is a beautiful thing. Okay, well, happy Sunday, everybody. It's a new month. So for all my students, just know that your Monday check-in call, your course check-in call is tomorrow. So we have it tomorrow at 8 p.m. So just be mindful of that and put that on your calendars. Also hmm, for this Sunday or for today. Last week, when we did the fast, it kind of pushed us back 1 week because remember, the fast was very impromptu and unexpected. I had planned to be done with all of our psychology in the month of July, going into this next half of basically the year. So we will be finishing up the psychology call today, and next week we're going straight back to charts because I I strategically had psychology the way that I've been doing it. But again, when we did the fast, it delayed us a week, but we know delayed, not denied. So, and I think the fast was very good for us to align our spirits. Because ultimately, as I've told many of you guys many times before, the self-work is the most important part when it comes to understanding the market and executing your positions. Like, you have to be able to tap into yourself first, and having clarity with yourself is what gives you that overall clarity. How have you guys been, like, other than that? Like, do you guys feel like the fast helped you guys, or where do you guys feel like you are?
So helpful. Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely.
How do you think any of you guys more sensitive in your spirit?
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That alignment is extremely important, and that intuitiveness is extremely important. And anytime that I feel like there's a lot of noise around or a lot of distraction, I always go into fasting. So it was good to be able to do one with you guys. So you guys kind of see how I do it and how it's done. Like, I typically, because I was nursing, I did, like I said, we did the fruits and the vegetables, but typically, like, I used to only do juice fast only. Um, but whatever fast you do, it's just anything that is hard is a fast. Anything that is depriving you of your normalcy is implementing discipline. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen because I don't want to talk too much because I definitely want to be done. Like I said, I want to be done with the psychology call today. Going into this psychology call, there is something important that I want to say that I've done specifically in gathering these slides. I took it from my entire old trading notebook when I was really trying to figure this out and um, really trying to understand certain things inside of me that I needed to get over in order to be my best trading self. So hopefully it's all helpful to you guys because again, a lot of it is my own notes that I kind of just put straight into a slide, okay? So I'm getting ready to share my screen with you guys. Give me one moment. So we finished off here last time. Prior to us starting our fast, this is where we finished. But going into this next part again is all of my notes. So a lot of it, I want you to take notes on yourself so that you have these to go back to because they kind of really dive deep into the why behind things. Like, sometimes people will say, oh, when you're trading, you shouldn't have FOMO. But really, it's like, what does that mean? Like, let's peel back the layers to see, like, why am I actually feeling this way? Or what are the reasons that these feelings are even coming up. So this was the last slide that we finished off on. It said, you swear you follow your plan, but you tilted after one red trade. You crushed it in back testing, but froze alive. You promised just one more trade, then wiped away 3 days of gains. So prior to this point, we were just diving deep into certain concepts that people may have experienced in their live trading and certain things that they have to tackle themselves before they are able to get and basically become their best self. And I talked about how you're not trading the chart, you're trading your emotions. And then that's when we got into a deep conversation about like, you know, emotional regulation and fasting. And then this is where we left off. So most traders don't lose money because of their strategy. They lose because they can't control themselves. You don't lose because the market is out to get you or because your strategy doesn't work. You lose because in the heat of the moment, you abandon your plan. The truth is the charts aren't the real battlefield. Your own mind is. Every impulsive click, every emotionally driven trade is a decision to prioritize short-term relief over long-term results. The market, it's not that the market's chaos that cost you, it's your reaction to it. So the market being volatile is not the problem because obviously we know how to trade in that volatility. But how does your nervous system respond to that erratic how does your nervous system respond to the movement in the market? And that is what we can't control. That is what a lot of people have struggled with controlling. Okay. So why can't we control ourselves? And again, when I went, like I literally in my notes, I have this, I should have brought my notebook down here, but it is like you know, those bubbles that you used to do as a child when you're in school? So I had like a bubble for each thing that I was feeling. And then I had like I don't know, what is it called? A bubble chart? What would that be called? Like the circle, and then you have the branches that make another circle, and then you have the branches off of those circles that make other circles.
A
Right?
web chart,
Venn diagram.
web.
Yeah. So I had made it based off of that. So I said, Jessica, why can't I control myself? And then I was like, my emotion is overtaking my discipline. Like I had really broken all of these things down. So when I think I had told you guys that I found my old notebook from trading. And when I was going through it, I had pulled out certain stuff. I was like, dang, Jess, this was some real deep stuff. So I put a lot of that in the notes. So I had a circle coming off and it talked about how our brain hates uncertainty, like as a human in general. And that's why a lot of people, it's hard for people to have faith in their spirit and in God, is because it's like you try to control situations yourself opposed to trusting the process. So the brain hates uncertainty. Number one, emotion overrides discipline. Number two, we want short-term relief over long-term pain. So that's supposed to say gain, not pain. Sorry, that's a typo. But short-term relief over long-term gain. And then the market doesn't care. The market doesn't care what's happening. Um, so the brain hates uncertainty. This was the first one. The market is unpredictable by nature, right? That's why I talk when we're marking up our charts, not to guess super far into the future and take price step by step, because you can have an overall bias, but the volatility, the noise, like that is the part where it's like you can't control that part. Right. So we have to remember when I told you guys a long time ago, like the song, when I move, you move, just like that. That is how we have to respond to the market. We do not guess the market. You cannot guess the market. When the market moves, you basically react to it and you're taking your trades and your positions based off of breaks and retests and confirmations and confluences that the market gives you. Okay. Your brain, however, is wired for survival. It craves control. We crave patterns. We crave safety. When price action becomes erratic or a trade moves against you, your nervous system reacts. You feel tension, anxiety, maybe even panic. And in that emotional state, your brain shifts from logic to survival mode. And that's when your impulses take over. Okay. Next, emotion overrides discipline. So when a trader feels fear, greed, or frustration, they often abandon their system to relieve that discomfort. So closing a rented trade and consolidation is usually driven by fear of losing. Remember my student Faith that time where she was, I think she had did a Zoom call or a YouTube call for you guys about it, but I had gotten onto her because it was this trade that she had a beautiful entry on gold, but gold had consolidated, I think, for like 3 days before her actual trade moved. She was in profit the whole time. Even when the market was in consolidation, she was still in profit the whole time. But because it was consolidating too long, she pulled the trade. And then literally 3 hours after she pulled the trade, the market had shot up 250 pips. So when I say closing a winning trade and consolidation is usually driven by fear of losing, it's like we want things now, 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 now. That's the society that we live in. That is the world that we live in. Like it's like, how can I get things done fast? How can I get things done with the least amount of work as possible? And so understanding that and knowing like, okay, I'm going to take my time entering these trades because let's say, you guys know at the very beginning of your course where you have to write that letter to yourself about what are your individual things that make you tick. That's important because, like, for instance, if you know you're not a super patient person, then you should practice your patience in executing a position opposed to practicing your patience in an actual live trade. So if you know that you're not that person that can like sit through drawdown or sit in consolidation or whatever the case may be, take your time. Like, don't just hop in trades just because the market's open. Wait until your setup is ready to actually get into that position. Another example of emotion overriding your discipline is doubling down on a loser trade. It's often about revenge trading or trying to erase pain. So some people can be in a trade and let's say the trade is going against them and they're like, oh my God, I'm gonna place another trade and I'm gonna place another trade because they're trying to get their money back. And it's like you're not even operating off of your plan. You're not operating off of logic. You're not operating off on of your even the structure that's there. You're just getting in because you're fearful of losing the money. These decisions are not strategic, they are emotional reactions disguised as logic. Short-term relief, long-term pain. So every time you make an emotional decision in trading, you might feel short-term relief, but you're sacrificing long-term consistency. You're no longer trading a plan, you're trading to feel better. And over time, this chips away at both your capital and your confidence. So remember when I talked about how sometimes when people take losses and like let's say they're just pulling their trades because they don't want to be negatives. Because I've heard somebody say like, oh well, I didn't want to lose the trade. So since it wasn't that much money, I just closed it. But it's like over time, you're constantly closing trades. Like that is just like you can compound wins, you can compound losses. And those compounding of losses, again, they chip away at your capital, they chip away at your confidence. And again, every time you make an emotional decision in trading, you might feel okay in the short term, but long term, you're sacrificing your consistency. Lastly, the market doesn't care. The market is not out to hurt you. Like there are some people that say, oh, as soon as I get in a trade, it's like the market goes against me. That's not accurate at all. The market does not care about you, I promise. The market doesn't even know you at all. It simply reflects your actions. So when your reactions are undisciplined, your results become random. When your reactions are intentional and process driven, your results become repeatable. So again, just like in our charts where we have like trading our confluences, trading our confirmations, like waiting for your breaks and retests to execute. Those are the things that are repeatable, where it's like, even though the market might not look the same every single time, when we approach the market and we approach them with our rules before we get into our positions, those wins constantly compound. And that's what builds our confidence. That's what builds our account. And then ultimately, that is what makes us have the ability to call ourselves traders. Make sense? Everybody with me before I go on to the next?
Absolutely.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay, perfect. The market gives you data, your mind gives it meaning. And if that meaning is emotional, impulsive, or fear driven, your account pays the price. I had this in all caps on my sheet when I wrote it out in my trading like book. So that's why I've made it its own slide, because I really thought it was like, I was like, Jess, come on. So again, the market gives you data, your mind gives it meaning. And if that meaning is emotional, impulsive, or fear driven, your account pays the price. Okay. So let's go back to this and let's go to our second bullet. Most traders don't lose their money because of their strategy. They want certainty, but are uncertain. Okay. You want certainty, but are uncertain. You don't wait for alignment. You can't trade without your confirmations. Most traders act out of impatience, not insight. Forcing trades without confluences is like pulling a trigger before aiming. It feels like action, but it's just blind risk disguised as confidence. Not being patient is exactly what makes you hesitate, overanalyze, choke when it matters most. The more you chase control, the more out of control you become. Please read that again because it was real deep. And I'll read it again for you guys. You guys need me to read it again? Or you want to just take a screenshot?
I need that
Again.
today. That's the control part. Yeah.
You do not wait for alignment. You got to wait for alignment. You got to wait for alignment when it comes to the market. You do not wait for alignment. You cannot trade without your confirmations. Most traders act out of impatience, not insight. Forcing trades without confluences is like pulling a trigger before aiming. Has anybody ever been to a gun range or whatever the case may be? Remember when I told you guys, even executing off of a higher time frame, it's like jumping out of an airplane without an exact landing. Forcing trades without confluences is like pulling a trigger before aiming. It feels like action, but it's blind risk disguised as confidence. Not being patient is exactly what makes you hesitate, overanalyze, and choke when it matters the most. The more you chase control, the more out of control you become. The more you chase control, the more out of control you become. I should have made that its own slide. The more you chase control, the more out of control you become. We do not control the market. We react to the market. You do not control the market. You react to the market. When I move, you move just like that. The market moves, you analyze its movement. Where are you in price? What is major structure? What is minor structure? Is there a breaker structure? Go back to your questions. Where are you in the market? You're at a negative 61.8. You see divergence. Ask yourself all of your questions, because when you are able to articulate and analyze that, now you can make an informed decision, opposed to chasing the market and trying to control the market and put the market in a box of parameters. Even when you guys are analyzing, when I tell you guys that there is not a picture perfect, pretty situation all the time, which is why it's so important that you understand these concepts. Like when you are executing or even trend lines, understanding like every single trend line is not going to look the same. 2 points drawn into the future, understanding your trends. When you're drawing your structure, when you're drawing your zones, understanding what price is doing opposed to trying to make it look the same every single time. You cannot put price in a box. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we go into the why. So again, it was the bubbles. Why do
Yes,
we
ma'am.
struggle with uncertainty? Relief over results, impatience, fear of missing out, desire for control. Relief over relief over results. When you're sitting in front of the chart staring at price action, your brain gets restless. It starts craving certainty, action, and dopamine. And when a setup almost looks right, the emotional mind steps in and whispers, just take the trade, you'll feel better when you're in. At that moment, the need to relieve tension becomes stronger than the need to wait for confluences. I kind of jumped ahead to this because we just talked about this. Okay. Wait for all your confluences before you execute a trade. Don't just get in a trade and then try to piece the pictures, the puzzle together, hoping once you're actually in. Once you're actually in, now you just got to go with the tide of what's going to happen or take your loss. which I'm trying to get you guys to avoid. Okay? At that moment, the need to relieve tension becomes stronger than the need to wait for your confluences. Logic takes a back seat and you're no longer trading your edge. Instead, you're trading to escape discomfort. This part right here. Screenshot that. Understood?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes.
All day.
Oh, let me go back to that because this real deep and I don't want nobody to miss it. We have two sides to us. You know how like in cartoons, which is really sad to say, because I don't want it to like, oh, the angel on the shoulder and the devil on the shoulder. But this is a real thing. In cartoons, there's an angel on the shoulder and a devil on the shoulder. When I relate that to trading or even in life, it's the side of you that knows everything you need to do, but you don't choose the productive side, the side that is, we'll say angelic, the side that is angelic, that is feeding you life, the consistent person, the productive person, the patient person, the fruits of the spirit, the disciplined person. That's this person right here. Then you have the devil on the shoulder that is, oh, just press snooze in the morning. It's okay. You can get a few hours of sleep. Oh, you don't have to go to the gym today. It's okay. You don't have to eat healthy today. Why do you have to eat healthy today? Look at all this food. Doesn't it look amazing? You don't need to give yourself life today. Eat this BS instead. It'll taste so much better, even though it's going to make you feel worse, right? Like that's the devil on your shoulder. Now, in trading, you have that person that's, oh, I see all my confluences. I see what I need to see. I see it clear as day. Then you have this person that's like, girl, ain't you tired of just waiting on the market? Just hop into this trade. The market open, go get you some money real quick. The money is right there. Just go get it real quick. Just execute the position. It's okay. Oh, you saw that person on Instagram. They made $50,000 today. Don't you want that? Just go hop in. That is the devil on your shoulder. This is the patient person. The patient person you need to listen to. This is the mature person. This is the wise person. This is the wisdom. That is the person that needs to fuel your soul. Okay? Make sense? We don't want to feel good all the time. When you chase what's hard, that is when you become the best version of yourself that you can be.
That part.
All right? Impatience. Waiting for the perfect setup feels boring. Your brain equates stillness with missing out. But the market rewards patience, not motion. Impatience tricks you into believing that action equals progress, when in reality, it's just self sabotage in disguise. Most blown trades don't come from bad analysis, they come from a refusal to wait for true confirmation. Again, waiting for the perfect setup feels boring. Your brain equates stillness with missing out. But the market rewards patience, not motion. Impatience tricks you into believing that action equals progress, when in reality, it's just self sabotage in disguise. Most blown trades don't come from bad analysis, they come from a refusal to wait for true confirmation. Please screenshot that. Actually, just screenshot every slide that you see and keep it in your phone, and then actually write notes on it and put it on your wall near your trading computer or wherever you trade, put it near you that you can constantly go back to it when you start to feel a certain type of way when you're in your execution. Because trading is boring until you start making the money and you understand that it's your job. But when people approach the market, I have two friends right now that have just gotten into trading. Um, and they were at my house the other night, and but they trade options. And so they were like, girl, like I'm so addicted to the market, and I just love the market so much. Like, oh my God, why you ain't been telling me da 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 da? And I'm like, listen, you're winning right now. You're winning. It's called beginner's luck. One of them is winning. The other one, she's still trying to figure it out. And the one that's winning is like, I'm so addicted. Like I just be trading all the time. And then it's like when people first start out, you don't realize that this really is a job. It's like you're constantly just wanting money and you're treating it like a side hustle. The other one lost $10,000 and she's hurt and she's trying to like get her confidence back together. But that over trading is what like she had 3 weeks of gains and then gave back um $10,000 to the market. I mean, well, okay, this is what she said. She said that $10,000 wasn't hers out of her pocket. It was money that she had made from the market, but she made it all and then she gave it all right back. And she was like, she didn't realize how much psychology was a big part of this. And I said, it's everything. It's literally everything. But they love trading so much that they're constantly just in the market searching for a trade opposed to being still. Remember, we talked about this like 2 weeks ago when I told you guys I was trying to figure out trading, and the scripture was be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. When you are in your market, be still. Be still and let it come to you. When you flow out of a like whatever spiritual realm you are on when you are doing your fast, I want you to tap into that when you're in the market and just like when you operate off of like a stillness and an abundant level of knowing that like this is your money and your money is going to come to you, opposed to operating out of a lack situation where it's like, oh my God, I need money today. I need money today. I want to go make this much money today. I need to make this before the week is out. I need to make this. Like, have your goal, yes. But hopping in trades because the market's opened, opposed to understanding like the market's open. The market's open and I know my setup's coming. And when my setup comes, I'm going to execute it. And then I'm just going to compound my account and I'm going to reach my goal today. That's a completely different spiritual realm. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. FOMO. If you don't take the trade right now, you might miss the move. So you compromise and lower your standards. This is a journal. This was a journal. So, all right. So this is why it's a little bit long. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying about the whole operating out of abundance and operating out of lack mode. Okay. So again, if you don't take the trade right now, you might miss the move. So you compromise and lower your standards. FOMO in trading isn't about missing a setup. It's about the fear of missing validation. When price starts moving without you, it triggers a sense that you're being left behind, that others are winning while you're still standing still. It's a hit to the ego, not just the account. The brain interprets the movement as an opportunity slipping through your fingers, and suddenly logic gets drowned by urgency. Don't miss that. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Okay. You jump in late, abandon your rules, and convince yourself it's better to catch something than to be left with nothing. But FOMO isn't about the market. It's about the scarcity in your mindset and the belief that this is your only chance. And ironically, that very belief is what keeps you chasing instead of consistently executing. Don't miss that. In my journal, that was next to a gold trade that was in 2019. And it was because I wrote the journal beside like this came out of my trading notebook, but beside like I had I okay. When I journaled the trade, I went back to the trade as to why I got in the position in the first place because I didn't have my confirmations for that trade. And I put FOMO beside it in all caps. And the market was moving. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna miss the sell. It was a sell on goal. I was like, I'm gonna miss the sell. So I hopped in the sell. And right when I hopped in, it wouldn't get to me. And so I did a whole breakdown of that. And this is what was from that. Okay. So again, well, actually, I don't want to repeat it again, but do you guys, well, actually, I am, because this part is the part that's very important. When price starts moving without you, it triggers a sense that you're being left behind while that others are winning while you're still standing still. It's a hit to the ego, not just the account. Now, I'm gonna jump down. Well, I'm gonna read it all, but I'm gonna highlight this part once I get to it. So the brain interprets that movement as opportunity slipping through your fingers, and suddenly logic is drowned by urgency. You jump in late, abandon your rules, and convince yourself that it's better to catch something than to be left with nothing. But FOMO isn't about the market. This is the part. It's about scarcity in your mindset, the belief that this is your only chance. It's about scarcity in your mindset and that this is the belief that this is your only chance. What? That is that is it. That is it. Because so many times when we approach the market, we really do. You're thinking like, damn, I've been waiting on this setup all week. I don't want to miss the move. Or I see this move and gold been dropping and gold keep dropping and it's dropping. Like, let me just get in it. Or whatever the position is. GU dropped almost all last week. Whatever your position is, did you have confirmation before you got in that position?
Yes.
Yes.
That third sentence is so powerful. It's about the fear of missing validation. That's deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That spoke to me.
Yeah, girl. Oh, listen, I was going back to my journal because this whole journal, remember I told you I lost that money. April 2019 is when I became consistently profitable, and I was literally like trying to figure it out. And so I had went through this rampage of just journaling every single trade that I had and the emotions. Like that's why I tell y'all, when y'all journal y'all trade, don't just journal saying I entered at 1.48226. I got out at 1.26445. Like whatever the case may be, this was a buy. The pair was this. That's not how you journal when you're at sea. Like when you are learning, like to really take yourself to the next realm in a trading journal, is I was in this trade and this is what happened. And I lost this trade because X, Y, and Z. I won this trade because X, Y, and Z. I lost this trade because this was the trade I got in. It started free falling. I don't even really know why I got in the trade. It was just moving and the market was open. And I thought I saw what I saw, but I didn't really see it. Like, you got to have conversations like this with yourself. Like, I got in this trade because of FOMO. Okay, well, yeah, I know the market open all the time. It really was a stupid trade as to why I even got in it in the first place. So I really don't know why I got in it, but I really thought that it was a good trade, but really it just kept falling and I hopped in way too late. And then as soon as I hopped in, the market turned against me and now my money's gone. Like, okay, so why'd you do that? Well, why did I do that? Did I feel like other people was making money and I wasn't? I didn't hit my goal yet for the week. I was annoyed and I just wanted it and it just felt like I was being left out because, you know, I had this goal and I want to make this much money before the week is out and I didn't know what to do. Like that's when you become real with yourself. Like, do I need money to validate me? Or I see this person making this much money. Like, am I comparing myself? Like, what is happening? Or do I have scarcity in myself? Because clearly, yeah, I know the market always has money, but why is it that when I approach the market, I feel like this? And you answer these questions to yourself. That's the self-awareness. When I talk about even coming off of the fast, like that self-awareness to self-analyze the root, not just the surface level. What is the root behind how you're feeling when you're getting into this? I don't come from money. Like, if you're this person, ask yourself, like, I'm gambling because I have to pay rent next month and I don't come from money and I have to take care of my mom or my wife or whatever the case may be. Or I'm a man and I have a lot of pressure on my back and I got to provide for a lot of people. And I really feel like trading could be my way out. But I got a certain amount of money that I got to make by a certain amount of time. So I'm just about to hop in this because I do got a 50-50 chance. So I'm just going to hope that it go the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, really be real with yourself because that's the only way you can grow. Everybody with me?
Very much so. It's really good
Yes.
today.
100%.
Very much.
Powerful.
Pushing all
It's
the
just a
buttons.
proper autopsy.
It is very powerful today, so
Yeah.
much.
Yep.
Very spiritual today. I mean, it's
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Excellent. Excellent.
you. Listen, I feel like even though the fast was impromptu for you guys, or even though the fast was impromptu, it actually help me too spiritually because like when I do feel like sometimes like I'm always with my kids like I constantly am pouring like I'm in a very pouring season where it's like I pour so much that I haven't been getting filled, and so that was my I would say that's what I was praying for when I did my the fast that I did with you guys. It wasn't necessarily for clarity in trading because I feel like I have all the clarity I need when it comes to like, my systems and how I approach the market and all the things. And I've been profitable and all these things. But like spiritually, I felt like I wasn't really my aligned self because I felt very depleted. And I feel like I'm always just like giving and pouring and like it's like Loyal is my koala bear. Like he's nursing right now, but Legend nursed for a year, but Loyal's very clingy and he's always just on me. And it's just like it's okay because I'm his mom, but sometimes I do get like touched out and it's like he doesn't ever want anybody but me. And I'm trying to get him to not be as spoiled because I need to breathe. I need to breathe. And I'm just trying to find like a balance of all the things. So the fast helped me also, which is why I actually said that I was continuing in it because it's like let me get through this. Let me get through this because we got 20 minutes.
Before you do, that's perfectly normal. Just that's all part of being a mom, especially with two toddlers. That's just normal.
Yeah, but yeah, it's hard though. It's hard,
It is. It
especially
absolutely
in the
is.
realm because Michael, you guys know, like he's like they're preparing for investments right now. He's super busy, so it's like a lot of the motherhood lead roles are falling on me because like he travels a lot too for business and work and all the different things, and it's like I still have to get my stuff done too, and it's like just trying to find a balance with all of the things. But it's neither here nor there. It's all okay, but it's like I do feel like I just keep pouring, whether it's pouring as a wife or pouring as a mentor or pouring as a mother or pouring even helping my parents out and pouring as a daughter is like, okay, let me fill my cup back up real quick because I
Absolutely.
just am always moving and always being tugged the direction and somebody needs me for this or somebody wants me to do this. And it's just like, okay, Jessica just needs a moment, please.
Let me say, you guys, the crown is heavy.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I
Yes.
had to leave town for
And
my son to stop nursing, just so you know. And he was like 14 months. It's not
Yeah.
like he was a little bitty baby. I had to leave town.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's actually how I got Legend to stop nursing. Interestingly, I went to Ghana, and that's when he stopped nursing.
There you go.
Okay, so desire for control. The desire for control in trading comes from a natural need to feel safe in an unpredictable environment. The markets are chaotic and uncertain, and that uncertainty creates discomfort. Taking a trade, even a forced trade, gives the illusion that you are in charge, but this illusion of control is a trap. It blinds you to the reality that true control comes from discipline, patience, and following your plan, not from reacting impulsively to every twitch in the market. When you chase control through forced trades, you're actually surrendering to emotion and anxiety. Again, when you chase control through forced trades, you're actually surrendering to emotion and anxiety. This part is the part I've emphasized over and over and over again, that true control in the market comes from discipline, patience, and following your plan. You will never be a successful trader until you exercise discipline, patience, and following your trading plan. It is essential to becoming a sufficient, effective, and profitable trader. Okay. This part, the desire for control and trading comes from the natural need to feel safe in an unpredictable environment. We've talked about before, and I've kind of talked about it at the beginning of this call too, where like in your first part of your course, we have to write that letter to yourself about understanding who you are so that you can know the things that you need to master before executing or before going through this process as a trader. Control is a big one because most of us control everything in our lives that we don't know how to not be in control. We try to take charge of everything that when a market is just moving and you're like, hold on now, hold on. Like that's why most people say like, I've been successful at almost everything in my life and trading is one of the hardest things I ever had to learn. And it's really because now you have to master yourself. It's easy to say, hey, I'm going to eat this for breakfast. I'm going to eat this for lunch. I'm going to eat this for dinner. I'm going to go here at a certain time. I'm going to go to work from this time to this time. I'm controlling all of these different things in my life. My children are going to do this, this, and this. Like it's easy to have control in so many different areas. But when you're in an area that is very unpredictable and you're trying to now input your control on it, and try to put parameters. Like I said, you can't put the market in a box. You're trying to put parameters on something that is volatile. So then that makes your mind like, oh my God, what is happening? Understand? Everybody with me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. All right. Now, last bullet point, most traders don't lose money because of their strategy. They lose money because they are reacting and not trading. We've talked about this a little bit, but I use this little puppet symbol right here because I really feel like that's a real thing in trading. So when we trade, especially with real money on the line, our nervous system treats it like a survival situation. Every sudden price movement, every candle spike is interpreted as a threat or an opportunity. And in that moment, emotion overrides logic. We stop following our process and start reacting to avoid or chase pleasure, avoid pain or chase pleasure. Okay. I would say the most important part right here is our nervous system treats it like a survival situation. We don't want to freak out in trading. We want to take this again step by step. Okay. Um, Here, I told you guys to have affirmations. I have a few that I want to go over, but I want you guys before your trading session to read your affirmations. Did remember we talked a little bit about the unstoppable plan and how I wanted everybody to make their own individual unstoppable plan. Have you guys done that? Yeah.
No.
No, that's not what I like to hear.
When did we do this? Because I was out of the country for a couple weeks.
Oh,
Like
last
the
week.
schedule.
intentions.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
last week we talked about like y'all's unstoppable plan, how you want to make it, like after we did the pass.
If you're
Yeah, like
like
what we intended to.
like at this time I'm gonna work out, this time I'm gonna go to the charts like that.
Yeah, your schedules. I'm sorry, your schedules.
Yes, I have that.
Okay, have you been following it this past week?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, for anybody that had missed last week, I think we had got off of YouTube for that part though, because I think that, oh yeah, Brooklyn did the quick meditation, and then we had talked about we had went off live and did like a group thing for ourselves. But yes, so I had talked about how you have to plan for everything, basically. So that's why I said unstoppable plan, because in order for you to tap into any next level or any next season of your life that you plan to be different from the last, you have to do things different to get a different result. And a lot of people will say, hey, I want to be a millionaire, or I want to be a multimillionaire, or I want this type of body, or I want this, and that, but don't have any actionable plans or any actionable things that are actually deposited every single day into helping them achieve that. And I had kind of shared mine where like my non-negotiables just for myself every morning, I wake up at 3:30 a.m., leave my house by 4 a.m. I'm at the gym 4:30 to 5:30 a.m. And then I talk about how like 4 o'clock to 4:30 when I'm in the car going to the gym, that is my time with God. That's my prayer time, my meditation time, whatever the case may be. And then when I leave the gym at 5:30, going home, that is my time where I am listening to like my motivation, whether it's like Jim Rohn or Eric Thomas or, Will Smith motivation is good. Whoever y'all want to listen to, Oprah motivation, like whatever motivation you need to for your actual like discipline regimens or whatever case may be. I do that from 5:30 to 6, then take a quick shower, then looking at the markets or whatever case may be, if it's not a Sunday going into a Monday. But from there, that's like before my kids wake up, everything. That's my non-negotiable, non-distraction time where nobody can bother me. And I need to do all of this to align myself. Do you know what I'm saying? But those small little deposits that you're doing every single day makes leaps and bounds where you literally will look at yourself and you're unrecognizable, whether that is spiritually, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically. Yours could be, instead of a trading session, you could read a book. Yours could be you want to commit to reading a certain amount of pages every single day, or just unstoppable, like whatever your goals are, something that is unstoppable for you. And I had them write that out, and I told them that I wanted them to start doing that last week. So if nobody was on that call, that's what I need you to do. Because the goal isn't just to hop on Sunday sessions and not change yourself as a person. Because the only way you're even going to consistently be profitable, no matter what I go over on a Sunday session, especially next week when we get back into the markets, no matter what trades I give out, if you aren't implementing the self-work, you won't achieve success. All right. So the affirmations here, I want you to read them before a trading session, read them out loud or write them down. After losing a trade, you want to use them to reframe and reset your mind. And during high emotion moments, you remember that call where Angelica was on the call and she said that she was in a gold trade, and she had mentioned that she started to get a lot of anxiety, and she went back to the market and looked at it and said, I'm still in my structure. And she didn't touch her trade. And then that next morning, it was, she had made her $2,500 or whatever. Yeah, 20, I think she made 2,000. Her account started at 500. So 2,500, whatever. But anyways, during high emotion moments, you want to repeat it in your head to interrupt your emotional pattern. Okay. Um, I trade from clarity, not emotion, is the first one. So you guys can screenshot these as I go. I trade from clarity, not emotion. You don't need to react. You have a plan, trust it. Next, discipline is my edge. Other people chase setups, you wait, and that's your power. My job is not to predict. My job is to take it step by step and execute. I am calm in chaos. Every trade I don't win, every trade I don't take is a win if it's outside of my plan. Every trade I do not take is a win if it's outside of my plan. One good trade is better than 10 emotional ones. I trust myself to pause before I act. And that was it. I'm gonna go over one more time. I trade from clarity, not emotion. Trade from clarity, not emotion. You don't need to react. You have a plan, just trust it. Discipline is my edge. While others chase setups, you wait, and that's your power. My job is not to predict. My job is to take it step by step and execute. You control the quality of your decisions. I am calm in chaos. While others panic, you stay grounded. You respond, not react. Every trade I don't take is a win if it's outside of my plan. Sitting out is a strength, not a weakness. One good trade is better than 10 emotional ones. You don't need volume, you need precision. I trust myself to pause before I act. The pause is where the growth lives. In that space, you become a pro. And that's all. That's it, guys.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Amazing.
Black
Thank you.
excellence once again.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
very,
Thank
very, very
thank
good.
you. Thank you.
Very, very
Okay, so
good.
listen. So you guys have your course check-in call tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. On Zoom. You guys have the link. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. And then next week, we're getting back into the charts. Okay. So I'm so sorry that we spent a whole month on psychology, but that's neither here nor there.
It was worth it.
Very needed.
It's all good.
Needed. It
All
was
good.
It
needed.
was very much so needed.
Jess,
And
I have a
today we
question.
went out with a bang. Yes.
So when we did the fast, like my account increased like 300%, and I won.
Come on.
Like I won everything, and it was so clear to me.
Wow.
And everything. But once we started like back our normal routine, I lost like my first 2 trades. So how do I continue fasting, or like what do I need to do to like stay clear? I don't know. Like what should I start fasting again? Like I don't know what to do.
Listen, girl, you gotta no. So this is the thing. Okay, so Brian Tracy. Oh, that's deep. Okay, so Brian Tracy had talked about in one of his books that this guy, it was a guy who came to, I can't remember if I listened to him say this on a video or if it was in a book, but he said that this guy had came to one of his conferences and was like, I paid for this and everything worked at first and everything was great. And then all of a sudden, wait.
Mhm.
If
the book.
a book,
In the book.
Yes, it was the book. No
It's either
excuses.
the book or the audio. But yes, that's
It's
a
the
good
book.
story.
okay, so tell her what it says, guys.
Send
Tell her
it
what it
audio.
says.
He stopped doing what he
What got him
was
there?
originally doing. So if he stopped doing what he was originally doing, he wasn't getting the results anymore because it was a training that he started following, and he was doing all of the work and the steps and the process, and then he stopped doing it because he got distracted with a new job and a new position, and he abandoned his process. He abandoned his
He got comfortable what he was doing.
yeah,
What he was doing.
yeah.
So he stopped doing what got him there.
Yeah, he abandoned his schedule, his routine. Yeah, that was good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what's that? Who asked me that? Was it Shakita?
Yeah.
Oh, girl, I know your voice now. That's crazy. I know your voice now. Hey, girl. Okay, so listen, is there anything in your life that you feel like has changed since you finished that? Because when you said when you got back into your normal routine, does that just mean you stopped eating your fruits and vegetables? But like, have you still been devoting yourself to like prayer, or were you like reading or like going to the church at a certain time? Like, is there anything changed outside of just like you stop eating just your fruit?
Yeah, just everything wasn't structured as like my meal plan and everything.
So we got to go back to the structure, because this is the thing. The structure is the clarity. And when you take the beautiful part about fasting, and it's so crazy. Y'all know, I think on last session, somebody wrote in a YouTube comments, they were like, this is so weird. And I was like, what's weird? Like, fasting weird? Because the only way to trade is to come from clarity. And the only way to have clarity in your spirit is through fasting and prayer and really alignment. So it's like that clarity, ridding yourself of the noise. So I charge you, Shakita, to do it longer. Like I told you guys, I was continuing mine. Like I added some vegetables in there. But I like how I felt doing my fast, and doing it with you guys took me back to when I used to do them on my own. And y'all thought it was just for y'all. I actually needed it too, and I appreciated it because it put me back in my like alignment as well.
Amen.
Yeah, I love how I felt too, and that was my first time ever fasting.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. And I love it too, because I'm not just like when I okay, so I truly believe I have this thing where I say that I am a distribution for God's work here on earth. And when I say that, I understand that people come to me for trading, but I am not worldly. I'm not a worldly person. I'm not a self-righteous person. I truly know that I am the righteousness of God. I understand that everything that I have flows through Him, and it's not me. And I like to take myself out of it and allow God to whatever He is um, trying to reveal to His people, meaning you guys on the alternate end of me, what He's trying to reveal to you guys, whether it be a changed life, just because, like you just said, you've never done a fast and now you have. That's not me. I ain't do it for no reason. I didn't even know why that day I randomly started crying and we did a fast. I'm just here and experiencing you guys as you guys are experiencing me. And we are all in a moment together. And I truly believe that the moment that we are in together, God brought us all here to be together. But I say that to say that I want you guys to grow outside of just the charts, because I think that when you guys grow individually, even your ministries that you actually have, whatever they may be, let's say they're not trading, and let's say somebody is speaking to domestic violence victims. You have somebody else on this call who is in the military and needs to speak to the people in their unit, or you have somebody else on this call who is a healthcare professional and they have people in their unit who are dealing with things, or whatever the case may be. Like, you guys have extensions of yourselves. Just like I have an extension to you guys through trading, you guys have extensions in your own lives through to other communities, through whatever that may be. It could be church, it could be girls groups, it could be men's groups, it could be, like I said, healthcare professionals, patients, where you guys actually have patients that you guys need to speak to, but you're speaking to them through the Holy Spirit speaking through you. Make sense? Now, I say that to say, when I had you guys do this fast, it was out of nowhere. And that's how I know that it was the Holy Spirit entering the room and having Holy Spirit speak through me to get to you guys. But that told me that somebody on this call needed a fast. And when we were fasting, I knew that people's accounts would increase because you're ridding yourself of your flesh. The whole reason that we fast is to silence ourselves so that God could speak through us. And that silence is clarity. It is guidance. It is that intuitiveness, that intuitive feeling that is beyond who you are. Right? Make sense? Now, I want each person's life to transform outside of a financial aspect. You guys come to me through finances, but I know that you're going to leave with so much more because this is more than just growing accounts. This is transformative lives. Not only that, your children, I want your husbands, I want you to affect your wives, and wives, I want you to affect your husbands in a different way, in a way where you are better. The whole goal is to just be better, be your best self every single day. I didn't mean to go on that tangent because of your question, but I want you to go back to doing what you was doing, sis, so that you can, because if you feel like that and it's like, hold on, like stuff's starting to change, like I'm not as structured as I was, go back to that structure because it's only going to benefit you in the long run. Then you're going to become, when I talk about that unstoppable plan, you're going to become unstoppable. And that's the goal. The goal is to become unstoppable so you can be the best self, the highest version of who God called you to be.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. All right, guys. I love you guys.
Love you
Thank you,
more.
Jess.
Love you.
Good
I'll
night.
see you
Thank
guys
you.